I'm gonna be one of the only guys to admit that one of the main reasons why I work out so hard is because I want to look like a sexy piece of meat for women. I want to look like a piece of A5 Wagyu steak. You know how women are like, don't objectify me, I don't want to be objectified? I'm over here like, please objectify me. I've been working so hard these past 5+ years of my life. Like, I want you to look at me. I want you to objectify me. Like, I want to get some praise for the results that I've gotten. And I think I feel this way about a lot of things. And as men, I don't think we really like to admit this to ourselves, but one of the main reasons that we try so hard to level up and to improve is because we want to be better than the guy next to us. We want to be better than everyone around us. Because if we stand out from them, we get more rewards, whether that's money, fame, status, or maybe even women. Like when I was 18, I did one of the smartest things that I could do with my entire life. I joined the Air Force to literally force myself to level up. There was no choice, because if I didn't, I would have been just like everybody else. And I'm grateful that I did that, because doing that and being in that environment, it forced me to grow. And it started this journey that I'm on of continuously trying to improve myself. I want to make this video and I want to talk about this topic because I see a lot of hopelessness and misery in the guys around me and the guys that are around my age. I see a lot of guys thinking that being a millionaire, having a private jet, owning a $200,000 sports car by the time you're 20 years old is a normal thing. And if they don't have that, then they're a loser. When the reality is that the majority of guys, maybe about 80% of us, we're not even close. The majority of guys don't even have any ambition. And so this video is some encouragement, really, that if you can give yourself just some level of ambition, no matter where you're at, you can change your entire life and you can stand out. And that's what this video is all about. So there are two schools of thought on how you should improve yourself. There's the external and there's the internal, okay? The internal is actually a lot more important than the external. The internal is about the way in which you see yourself, and that also kind of reflects outwards in how other people see you. But improving the internal is actually a lot harder to do, and one of the ways that you actually improve the internal is by starting with the external. So one of the things that we can start with is our career and our income. Now, the Bureau of Labor Statistics said that the average salary for people between the ages of 20 to 24 is about $38,000, and 25 to 34 is $52,000. The average savings for somebody between the ages of 20 and 30 is only $5,000 in their bank account. And Business Insider found that the average debt for somebody between the ages of 18 to 26 is $15,000. And somebody between the ages of 27 and 42 is $30,000. And if you add a house, a mortgage on top of your debt, that skyrockets it to over about $200,000 a person on average, okay? Holy shit. Like, people are buying homes that they can't even afford. They're buying new $40,000, $60,000 cars that they don't even need. Their spending habits are terrible. They don't save. They don't know how to manage their money. And a lot of people are actually living paycheck to paycheck. If the average savings is only like $5,000, you are one disaster away from ruining your entire life. At our age, I'm 24. It's really not that difficult to stand out if you have just a little bit of common sense and ambition. I'll be honest, right now, I don't even have a job. Okay? I used to work part-time as a personal trainer, but right now, I do not even work. I go to school full-time. I set myself up years ago by joining the military so that now I get paid to go to college pretty much for free, right? But I don't make more than about $30,000 a year. But what I'm doing, yet again, is setting my future self up for success, okay? After I complete this program that I'm in, within 2 years when I'm done, I'll be able to make a minimum starting salary of about $30 an hour. That's $62,000 a year, okay? The average person my age only makes like 40. So what you need to do to stand out is set yourself up for future success, right? So you can do things like this. If you don't have a degree, get one. or at least a certificate, because having that degree in the first place just lets you enter that higher echelon of income, right? You have your foot in the door already because you have that degree. People with degrees earn more money, and with certificates as well. Like, I have a personal training certificate, I have a CPR certificate, first aid. All of these other things will allow me to earn just that much more than the average person and be willing to work a typical 9 to 5 job. Okay, there's nothing wrong with starting off in a 9 to 5. You need a baseline. You need to start somewhere if you want to start making more money, right? It's okay to work a job that you don't like in the meantime. Even if that means you're only making $20, $25 an hour, it's better than nothing. And you can stack your money while you're in there. Like, I have a friend who's been working at Tesla for a little bit over a year, and he literally almost has $100,000 saved up in his bank account. You can also cut out pointless expenses. Like, you might have a membership to something that you don't even use anymore, like your subscriptions to Netflix or Hulu, Paramount. And this one's gonna be obvious, but don't buy anything that you can't afford, like a brand new $40,000, $50,000 car, because you've just screwed your future self. You just stole money from your future self if you don't have enough money to pay that car off instantly. Like, don't screw up future you's happiness just because you want happiness right now when it's not the best decision for you to make. You have to look ahead. That's how you stand out. Another way to easily stand out is with your level of fitness and your ability to fuck somebody up. Now, the CDC said that the obesity rate is about 40% for people between the ages of 20 and 39 years old. Now, I might be bulking, but I'm not obese, okay? I've never been obese in my entire life. But the first thing that people notice about you is your physique. So if you want to stand out, having a good physique is crucial. You don't have to look like Chris Bumstead, okay? I don't even look like Chris Bumstead. But I'm in pretty damn good shape compared to other people my age. Most of the people that I grew up with, or that I see in the gym now, have gotten fat, or they're still scrawny and skinny and they don't look good, alright? And I don't mean to be rude, but this is the truth. Less than 1% of the population can even bench 225 pounds, right? And I can rep it out for like 8. In terms of the gym, for people my age, I am at least in the top 10%. The other part of this is being able to defend yourself, or being able to fight, being able to fuck somebody up, right? Martial arts has always been something that I've been interested in. I'm always tuning into UFC or the big boxing fights. I used to do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I took a boxing class in college, and just a couple weeks ago, I signed up to do Muay Thai at a local gym of mine. Being able to fight is important to me because growing up, I wasn't always confident. I would get bullied. I would get picked on because I was weak. I was scrawny. I was a pushover, okay? I let people bully me and push me around, right? So it's important to me that I'm able to stand up for myself, that I'm able to defend myself, because the last thing I want to do is be with like my girlfriend or someone that I care about and I can't protect them. And honestly, some people just need a good little 1-2 straight to the jaw. You know what I'm saying? And I want to be able to do that if I have to. So I made a goal for myself that by the end of the year, I will have my first amateur fight. But the point is, most people don't know how to fight at all, okay? I'm sure you've seen the videos on like World Star Hip Hop where they're just swinging wildly for the fences and people are falling all over the place and it looks messy. You don't want to be like that. So here's what you can do to set yourself apart. Get a membership at your local gym and start working out at least 3 times a week. You could also hire a personal trainer to help you get results quicker. And what I would do if you don't train or if you don't know how to fight is to take a free class at your local boxing, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, or Muay Thai gym. Every martial arts gym has some type of free trial that they do. Try it out. Do it. Because I'm not gonna lie, martial arts gyms are expensive. I think the average membership is over $100 a month. But being able to defend yourself and be confident in your ability to throw hands, it's gonna set yourself apart. So standing out and improving yourself on the external level is actually pretty straightforward and simple, right? We level up our career, we level up our earning potential and our ability to make more money. We upgrade our physique, our looks. We learn how to fight and defend ourselves because the average person doesn't, right? Any guy can drastically make themselves stand out on an external level within a year. But what's a lot more difficult is standing out on an internal level, okay? Because you can be a 10 out of 10. You can be rich, you can have status, you can have a bunch of women, a Greek god physique. But on the inside, you can act like a baby. You could be a child mentally. Like, you can't control your emotions, your addictions, your thoughts. you have bad mental health, your relationships with people are terrible. Like, this is the case with a lot of people. They're great externally, but on the internal level, they're terrible. So to truly stand out, you need to work on yourself externally and internally. And improving internally is about your level of maturity and your level of emotional intelligence, which I've broken down into 3 categories. The first being self-awareness. How well do you actually know yourself? Why do you think the things that you think? When we're able to be more aware of our thoughts and our behaviors, we're more confident. We can make better decisions. We can have better relationships with people. We're less likely to be a jerk. We're less likely to cheat, lie, steal. So how do you even know if you are self-aware? And I would say that the fact that you even ask yourself that question means that you're heading in the right direction. Because the last thing that we want to be is someone who doesn't have any awareness of themselves and why they do the things that they do. You probably know someone like that. Growing up, I've always been pretty aware of myself. Like, I always think before I speak, like I always thought about what I was going to say and how I was going to say it or how it would affect that person before I spoke it out loud, right? I always kind of was aware of my thoughts and my emotions, even if I couldn't control them that well when I was younger. But I think I have a pretty good sense of self-awareness. And that's not to say that it can't be improved. But how do we improve our level of self-awareness? Well, some of the things that you can do is ask a family member or a friend about what their perceptions are of you. Like, see how they think about you, your bad qualities, your good qualities that you have, because sometimes you can't really see yourself in the same way that another person can see you. You might be missing something. I remember a couple years ago I did this, and I actually kept a notes on my phone. Let me see if I could find it. So this was a couple years ago, and I asked 4 friends what they thought about me. And one friend said I was timid, which I do agree at the time that I was pretty timid. One friend said I was kind, warm-hearted. Another one said I was composed and serene. And then lastly, unexpected is what they said of me. And doing this kind of let me know how other people thought about me in ways that I didn't even think about myself, because I can't see it. Another way is by journaling and by practicing being mindful, right? One thing that I do occasionally when I find myself a little bit not in the moment or kind of clouded with my thoughts is I'll sit there for a moment, take a deep breath, and I ask myself, where am I? Like, where are my feet right now? Where am I right now? And I physically dig my feet into the ground and move my toes, and I breathe in and out. And doing this kind of helps me snap back into reality and be in the present moment, Part 2 of this is going to be self-control. So improving yourself on an internal level also involves self-control, or being able to manage yourself. If we can have a good sense of self-awareness, we also need to be able to manage and kind of understand yourself. Like, why do you do what you do? Do you have any bad routines that you know are bad, but you keep doing them anyway? Why do you do that? Do you have any addictions? Do you have people in your life that you know you probably shouldn't be hanging around? And are you able to control your emotions, or do you lash out when you're angry or sad? These are things that we need to work on to stand out on an internal level, because not a lot of people can control their emotions or even themselves. Some of the most successful people on earth are addicted to drugs, or they cheat on their wives, or they are completely miserable. I've heard stories of guys of my age crying and screaming or throwing tantrums at their girlfriends literally when they're upset or angry. Like, I've had multiple friends tell me their dating experiences, and guys our age are pretty pathetic. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm the perfect man, but I'm not doing that. Like, the normal guy our age, 20 to 25, 26, he's still playing video games until like 2 a.m. This is our competition. And the fact that you're even watching this video makes you miles ahead of him already. Because that dude's literally playing League of Legends and talking back to his mom right now. So working on your ability to control and regulate yourself, you're going to stand out very easily. I can look back on some moments in my life that I'm not proud of, and I won't lie, in the moment, it is hard to control your emotions. I used to be addicted to vaping too when I was in the Air Force, and it took me over a year to quit that addiction. I even used to be a little brat playing video games, right? And my mom would come up and ask me for a favor, and I'd get all frustrated and mad at her for absolutely no fucking reason. I feel terrible. I'm so sorry, Mom. But when we can be more mindful about our emotions and control ourselves from lashing out or from being addicted to things, that's how we truly stand out. Because how many people do you know that still play video games, still vape, or have terrible relationships with their parents? Probably a good amount, right? So here are some things that I would do to help you develop a better sense of self-control. Focus on what you can control, because there's no point in worrying about something that has happened already or something that hasn't even happened yet. We literally stress ourselves out when we're thinking too much. I'm not saying don't think, but try to be more in the moment, be present, and actually work things out in your mind and talk to yourself when you feel these emotions come up. Force yourself to literally zoom out and see the things that actually matter in your life. And when you do this, you'll be able to manage your emotions a lot better, because you can control your emotions and your perceptions at any time you want. If I wanted to be angry right now, I could have a couple thoughts in my mind and literally get angry. Another thing I would do is to have a meeting with yourself. Be honest with yourself. Like when you're journaling or when you're talking to yourself, be straight up. Like, are you doing things that you think are genuinely stupid? Do you have good habits? Are you doing bad things with yourself? And look at the trajectory of your life for the next couple of years if you continue to do the things that you're going to do. So now that we've gone over self-awareness and self-control, we need to be able to apply those skills externally in our social skills and in our relationships with other people. Like, you've probably seen those guys that have absolutely no social skills, zero. They're awkward or they're weird, and you know that when he goes home at the end of the day, like, you kind of know that this person doesn't get any sunlight. Being able to have engaging conversations with people and good relationships is another key component of standing out. I wasn't always social. I'm generally a more introverted person anyway, but I know how to talk to people. I've developed this skill over time, and I've got some amazing relationships with friends, family, and people that I care about now, when in the past I didn't. So what I want you to do is show genuine interest in other people when you're talking to them. Ask open-ended questions about them. Get to know people, because you literally just want to know more about them for fun. Like, for me, when I'm having a conversation with someone and I ask them random things like, oh, why do you do that? Or, oh, when you work out, what kind of exercises do you do? And I'm like, oh, why do you like that? And then they kind of just go on. And when you just let people ramble and talk, you pretty much get to know them, because they give you like their whole life story accidentally. And another thing to do is to watch your body language, because not a lot of people can pick up on the cues of body language. Like when someone is naturally closed off, or they have their legs closed, or they're looking down and they're not looking at you, they probably don't want to talk to you. You know what I mean? When you're literally shelling yourself off against the world, you probably don't look like someone that people would want to talk to. Or if someone does that to you, they probably don't want to talk to you either, right? Generally, you want to be more open and expressive to the world. Head up, chest out high. When people relax and they're open like this, you're letting the world come to you. And practice maintaining eye contact with somebody. I don't mean to literally like eye fuck them and be like this while you're having an entire conversation with them. Don't do that. But just look at them and show them that you're actually listening to what they're saying. Like, you can look off occasionally and then come back to them when you're talking. But working on ourselves both externally and internally is what's actually going to make us stand out from the majority of guys our age. I hope you've gained some value from this video. There is hope for us if we have just a little bit of ambition compared to the normal person, okay? So I'll see you in the next video. Peace.